We all love cars, and we all dream of the day that we'll get to fulfill the enthusiast dream of owning a fire-breathing, corner-carving, head-turning monster. But sometimes we gotta swallow our pride and get a set of wheels that's simply cheap, reliable transportation. So, in today's Idealist, we have 10 cheap cars with absolute minimum maintenance will run forever. I'm Brad, please like and subscribe. Let's go! Okay, the Toyota Corolla is the benchmark for reliability, and the Corolla's combination of affordability and dependability is really hard to beat. You need a car that will never leave you stranded? Toyota Corolla. How about a car that gets good gas mileage? Toyota Corolla. And how about a car that costs next to nothing to maintain? A Toyota freaking Corolla, baby. The Corolla is the poster child for cars that refuse to quit. Yeah, it's not the most thrilling drive out there, but what it lacks in excitement, it more than makes up for in reliability. It's like that trusty old friend that you can always count on, no matter what. Let's not forget the affordability factor. It's like getting a dependable car without emptying your wallet. Well, I guess it's not like that. It is exactly that. The Corolla may not turn heads like a sports car, but there's something comforting about a car that simply does its job with no drama. For anyone who literally needs a car to get from point A to point B, a transportation appliance, the Corolla is the way to go. Sometimes the simple, no-nonsense approach just works, you know? And for $3,500, you have ideal transportation forever. As always, I've linked to all these cars via Auto Tempest down below, so go check them out.
And real quick, there's nothing like a little Huracan Performante V10 in the morning. Okay, if you've ever imagined yourself turning heads in a jaw-dropping supercar, you are in the right place. Sign up. Sign up for the Ideal Collective. Right now, it is completely free, and I've linked to it in the pinned first comment down below. And just by signing up, you'll be the first to know about the first Ideal car giveaway ever. Spots are limited, so sign up today. Again, it's in the pinned first comment, and now, back to the show.
What if you need something that's just a little more exciting to drive? And what if you want something that's way more capable of becoming downright fast? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I give you the Civic, which you can spell forward as well as backwards. Now, this car is also synonymous with lasting forever without regular maintenance. The Civics will run past 200,000 miles easy. Give the poor thing a good service once in a while, and it might outlast you and me. It's a car that even stock is a bit more fun to drive than the Corolla, with agile handling that makes it feel alive. And if you want, can be transformed into a drag strip terrorizing, track day slaughtering monster for not a whole lot of cash. Look, there is a reason cars like the Ariel Atom use the engines from a Civic right from the factory. And you can't go to a track day without seeing at least a couple of Civics or Honda-powered race cars. If the Civic is good enough for Dominic Toretto, it's good enough for you and me. No. But seriously, guys, even if you don't have dreams of becoming a boy racer, the Civic is a solid choice for just $2,500. And if you're enjoying this vid so far, slap the like button. Reliability and Ford don't always seem to go together, but when the Blue Oval decided to take the Japanese head-on in the compact car segment, somehow the early Focus is pretty reliable, is what I'm saying. As the car that replaced the Escort, which was also actually a pretty good car, it had big shoes to fill. In a stroke of genius, Ford used Ford Europe to design and engineer the thing. Small, efficient, reliable cars are the sales leaders in Europe. Having them design the thing was a great idea. It was available as a hatchback, a wagon, and a sedan, and from the day it was launched, it was pretty well received. It drove pretty good. It got great gas mileage, and it was reliable. Best part is, it stole design language from the GT90, which, go check out that video next. I'll leave a link down below. Listen, if you need a set of wheels for cheap, don't forget about Ford's edgy little Focus for under $2,500. When Hyundai launched the third generation Elantra in the US, it was an all-out declaration of war against cars in the segment. Because not only was it less expensive, but it offered a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. Hyundai was out to prove that they were a real player in the game, and in the early 2000s, they came out swinging. While it may not have quite had the same long-term longevity as, say, a Honda or Toyota, which is to say some of these parts might wear out at 200,000 instead of 300,000 miles, it was just as reliable as the best in the biz. And even though driving dynamics were okay, It more than made up for it with its well-made interior, somewhat upscale-looking body, and a cost-to-value proposition that was simply unmatched. Go snag one today for cheap. There are parts of the world where this car was absolutely dominating the market. The Nissan Sentra is recognized as a practical and reliable choice for anybody seeking an economic commuter car. With a lineage that stretches all the way back to the 1980s, the Sentra has been through several generations, each one building on the previous with improvements in comfort, technology, and efficiency. The Sentra finds this sweet spot for buyers who want a little more space without moving into a larger vehicle class. And over the years, just like most of the others on this list, there's been hot versions like the SER. While it doesn't usually lead the pack in terms of innovation or driving excitement, its well-rounded nature and reputation for durability keeps it firmly in the running for simple transportation. A good one will set you back just over $2,500. The Ford Crown Vic, the car that just won't quit. Like that uncle who insists on telling the same story at every family gathering. It's the big, beefy, body-on-frame sedan that is the go-to car for taxi fleets, police departments, and anyone who wanted to drive 25 miles per hour below the speed limit in the fast lane. Yeah, I'm looking at you, Lincoln Mercury owners. So if you ever wanted to blend in with undercover cops and scare fellow motorists, and bonus points, it's like driving around in your living room. Spacious, comfortable, and decorated like it was still 1985. Underneath it all, a full ladder frame and a V8 engine that had all the sophistication of a lawnmower, but with the reliability of a rain in Seattle. This car takes a beating like a heavyweight champ and asks for more. And sure, it has the fuel efficiency of a small yacht and the handling of a shopping cart, but who cares? It's a Crown Vic. V8 engine, rear-wheel drive, and built to be as indestructible as possible. There's a reason Doug Tabbitt, who you can check out on VinWiki, which shout out to VinWiki, you guys are awesome, says it is the worst car you can buy a teenager, which that secretly means it's one of the best. If fuel economy isn't a big deal for you, it's really hard to go wrong with the Crown Vic. Scare people out of the left lane for $4,000. It's the compact car that offers a mix of spirited driving and reliability that rivals even the famed Honda Civic. With precise steering and an engaging road feel, it's a car that's not only likely to last, but also to provide many miles of driving enjoyment. Mazda isn't like other car companies. They've always done things just a little bit different. Mazda has always tried to bake in some motorsports DNA into basically every car that they build, and the sporty little Mazda 3 is no exception. Available as both a hatchback and a sedan, of all the cars on this list, this might be the most fun to drive right out of the box, but you might have to work just a little harder to make it last as long as a Toyota or a Honda. Get all this fun driving enjoyment for $3,500. Okay, the Camry is one of the best-selling cars in America, with a reputation for reliability that's more than well-earned. The driving experience might not be that thrilling, but if it's years of trouble-free commuting that you're after, this is a solid bet. Guys, there's a reason that you see hundreds of late 90s Camrys on the road pretty much every single day. And while, okay, I'll admit, they're not the most inspiring cars to drive, they're a step up from a Corolla in basically every measure. They're bigger, more powerful, and the interior materials are a few notches better. It's the Corolla for those of us that need something a little more, well, full size. And you can get one for the pint-sized price of $3,000. The Accord, like the Civic, is famed for durability. It's a bit more refined and spacious than its smaller sibling, and even though at its core it's a comfortable cruiser, they actually have surprisingly lively handling. The Honda Accord is the choice of the college professors around the world. It's the thinking man's sedan, the sensible choice. So, come to your senses and make an Accord with an Accord for $2,850. Okay, you have to hear me out. If fuel efficiency is your game, the Prius's hybrid powertrain not only saves at the pump, but also tends to be super reliable. The Prius, while it might not win any style contests, except the very newest one that actually looks great, it's hard to argue with the sensible practicality that it offers. And I know, the Prius has been the butt of all car jokes for the last nearly 20 years, but buy one for yourself and you'll be the one laughing. Older, higher mileage cars are cheap, especially if they've been used as a taxi, but you'll want to be careful and make sure that you get one that still has a functioning battery pack. And besides the fact that you have to put a chastity belt on your catalytic converter and you're simply not allowed to drive it in the left lane, and if you can put up with the stigma and the looks, the Prius could be the move for you. Go green for $3,600. And now, real quick, it's time for an honorable mention. Okay, we couldn't wrap this up without at least one German car. I mean, they're not that bad, right? Truth is, the Rabbit, Golf, and Jetta, when equipped with the naturally aspirated inline 5, are actually pretty stinking solid. Sure, there's a few little things that could go wrong. The vacuum pump and map sensor are common failures, and being a mid-2000s Volkswagen, it will need door latches and HVAC blend door motors. Besides that, these things run forever, and they sound great doing it. Plus, in my opinion, they're one of the most fun cars to drive on this list, with one of the best interiors. Go get your V-Dubs Rabbit for just $5,000. So, whether you prefer the stoic reliability of the Corolla or the lively fun of the Mazda 3, there's a lasting value here for almost anyone. Which one of these indestructible commuters are topping your list? Did we forget one? Let us know in the comments below. And hey, don't forget to like and subscribe if you're new here. It really helps us out. And go check out this vid up here or whatever YouTube recommends you watch next. I'm Brad, this is Ideal, and promise me one thing: keep living the ideal lifestyle.